Welcome to Rauta, I'm Jerry, and this time we'll go to the French black metal with Corpus Diavolis, a band that has been out for quite some time. This is Elixiria Ekstasis. Now, previously the band has been referred as to Black Death Band, more focused on the black metal side than death metal side, but I would say this time it's a little bit different, and this time it seems the death metal elements have they're both totally bygone if you ask my opinion about it. Of course, feel free to disagree, but this is how I feel about it, and the name roughly translates to the body of the devil or something like that, like much of the Corpus Christi, the body of Christ and all that stuff. So one could say there's a strong blasphemic feeling with this, and once again, perfect job by LADLO, the label, releasing beautiful non-glossy digipack cover and a solid booklet, which definitely complements the style here. Of course, there are always people who just go for the rather classic, basic jewel case and all that stuff, but I prefer more unique, more personal take on the release, and as such, these non-glossy digipacks with nice looking booklets and all is something that I can totally dig. Now, the music here is somewhat different from the previous albums by the band, and I will soon lead you to the band's Metal Archive site. So it's like the band is changing once again a little bit. Not too drastic, not too much, but still worth mentioning. Now, I've gone through the couple of recent albums before getting into this one, not the early one so much, but enough to I can give you a little bit of information about the changes. I mean, what started in 2008 is very different now in 2024, almost 20 years later. For example, if you could compare this to Atra Lumen or Apokatastase, the previous albums, there are differences with Elixiria. Like I said, this is not so much on the from the death metal side anymore, but more focusing on the rather occult thing of black metal side. But because this is a 58 minutes of an album, it's quite a long ride, and sometimes it feels way too much. Partially because of songs like the third one, which is almost 10 minutes. Let's be honest about it. This kind of music, especially when it's about those fierce melodic parts and aggression and all, 10 minutes is way too much. Just try to cap it around maybe 5 minutes, and then you're better going on. But when there are songs that probably want to tell a story and share the band's internal feelings, emotions, thoughts, ideology, occultism, or whatever. I mean, we're not here to stop them. I'm just saying from merely an audience point of view, sometimes less works better. That is, sometimes you just have to kind of cut the story in half and maybe make two good songs rather than one which is just too much of a lengthy ride. Think it like that. We all, well, most of us, have enjoyed roller coaster rides as a kids anyway. So, while it's fantastic when you go for a few minutes, ups and downs, speed and slower parts, start, making that too lengthy one. Or like a toxic relationship. First few months, yay. Then a couple of boring ones and you're nay. And that's part of the thing here with the songwriting. Sometimes when you go too much emotionally invested in such things, you just kind of become blind and you're like, this is the way we're gonna go. And the rest of the people are like, yeah, but it's not going to work. And now I'm saying this album is boring or mediocrity. I'm just saying the forte is when the band is more intense, when it's more like short and sweet and evil and melodic and aggressive and intense, rather than going for these extended parts where it's just like too much repetition, not enough focus and all that stuff. Now, that same applies to the album left. When you have almost 60 minutes of an album, unless you're really sure it's going to be killer material, cut it by like 1/3, at least 25%. So I'm getting this feeling. Elixiria Ekstasis is like just overextending its stay. It's like too much on one go, because not all the songs, not all the riffs, not all the parts on this album is that good. However, to a certain degree, this is enjoyable. Like, I really can't bitch about like the vocals or the production that much. I mean, they're not maybe the greatest in the game, but they do their work rather solid ways. And the same goes for, songwriting in general. I mean, it's pretty nice. There are parts which are really friendly, like, this is good, and then the parts which are like, nah. So, comparing this to some of the early works, I would say I prefer them a little bit more. There are solid parts indeed, but maybe cutting it a little bit more would have done the service. This is of course matters of taste, and those who prefer pure black metal take rather than black death metal take might actually prefer this one. But it's up to you. You as a listener have all the right to decide what goes for you, and the links are provided in the description box. So give this album a chance, and if you like it, go buy it. At least you don't go wrong with this kind of beautiful packaging and all. So French black metal to people who like French black metal, this is pretty much what Corpus Diavolis is all about. And if you don't like the style, well, then you don't. That's it. Now, off you go. Cheers.